we're looking into a picture going around online this month. It shows Donald Trump touching a glowing orb.
Backlash against The Simpsons. Show is under fire for how it responded to criticism of one of its most famous characters.
In one chilling prediction, The Simpsons hinted at a global blackout in 2025, leaving the world in darkness and chaos. For decades, this cartoon has predicted shocking events, from elections to disasters, that later became true. As we uncover its 20 terrifying predictions for next year, the question is how much of this we should believe. Could something as simple as a TV show hold clues to our future? Let us dive into these unsettling forecasts that are a window into the terrible future ahead of us if we don't change as a society. The rising danger of global economic collapse. One of the most iconic predictions involves flying cars. In the episode Future Drama, flying cars were depicted as an everyday convenience. While this concept seemed purely futuristic at the time, real-world companies are inching closer to making it a reality. Firms like Terrafugia and Urban Aeronautics are developing vehicles that can drive on roads and take to the skies. These advancements in electric propulsion and autonomous technology could revolutionize how we travel. Could 2025 finally bring us the flying car revolution The Simpsons teased? Before we delve into this, it's clear that the truth behind these flying cars might be far darker than we ever expected, and this won't be the only prediction to leave you stunned. Another chilling forecast is nuclear Armageddon. The show has explored apocalyptic themes in various episodes, including scenarios involving nuclear disasters. Given the current state of global tensions, this prediction feels unsettlingly plausible. Recent geopolitical conflicts and the resurgence of nuclear weapons programs have reignited fears of large-scale catastrophe. While The Simpsons delivers these themes with humor, the underlying message is hard to ignore. Humanity must tread carefully to avoid devastating consequences. On a more optimistic note, the show also envisioned humans colonizing Mars. In The Marge Ian Chronicles, the family humorously explores life on the Red Planet. Today, this idea is no longer confined to science fiction. SpaceX, led by Elon Musk, has made significant strides toward making interplanetary travel a reality. NASA's Artemis program and robotic missions have further advanced our understanding of Mars. Could 2025 mark humanity's first steps toward establishing a permanent presence on another planet? Technological innovation is another recurring theme in The Simpsons. In one episode, a futuristic headset eerily resembles today's Apple Vision Pro. This device blends augmented and virtual reality to create immersive experiences that seemed impossible just a few years ago. The striking similarities between the show's predictions and real-world advancements leave many wondering, are these coincidences, or does the series have an uncanny ability to foresee tech trends? Mind control technology, while still in its infancy, also featured in The Simpsons. The concept of brain-computer interfaces, BCIs, is no longer pure fiction. Companies like Neuralink are developing implants that allow users to control devices using their thoughts. These breakthroughs could revolutionize medicine, communication, and even daily tasks. While the idea of mind control may sound alarming, the potential for positive applications is enormous. Holographic technology, another futuristic concept depicted in The Simpsons, is rapidly becoming a reality. In one episode, Bart receives a holographic invitation, a whimsical yet forward-thinking idea. Today, holograms are used in live performances, virtual meetings, and even medical training. As companies like Microsoft and Meta continue to invest in augmented reality, the day when holograms become a part of everyday life may not be far off. Economic collapse is a more sobering prediction that The Simpsons has tackled. In Bart to the Future, the show humorously portrayed a dramatic downturn in the US economy. With record-high national debt, rising inflation, and geopolitical tensions, many experts fear a financial crisis could be on the horizon. The increasing reliance on technology also poses risks, as cyber attacks and technical failures could destabilize global markets. Could the economic turmoil depicted in the show come true in 2025? One of the more outlandish predictions involves black holes. In a memorable episode, a tiny black hole grows uncontrollably, swallowing everything in its path. While this scenario is clearly exaggerated, black holes remain one of the most strange phenomena in space. Advances in astronomy have allowed scientists to study these cosmic giants more closely, but much about them remains unknown. Could 2025 bring groundbreaking discoveries or unsettling surprises about these strange entities? The Simpsons has also touched on climate change, another pressing issue. Episodes have depicted extreme weather events, environmental degradation, and humanity's struggle to address these challenges. As climate change continues to impact the planet, these fictional scenarios feel increasingly relevant. Innovations in renewable energy and global cooperation are crucial to averting the worst outcomes. Will 2025 be a turning point in the fight against climate change, or will it bring more dire consequences? Another uncanny prediction is the rise of artificial intelligence, AI. The show has often portrayed AI as both helpful and menacing, reflecting real-world debates about its potential. As AI continues to evolve, concerns about ethical considerations, job displacement, and security risks grow. The integration of AI into daily life is inevitable, but the question remains, will it serve humanity or pose new threats? After looking at big changes ahead, it's time to think about what we really know and how new ideas might change that. The search for answers about black holes. The idea of time travel, while purely fictional, has also been explored in The Simpsons. Episodes featuring time machines and paradoxes are entertaining, but they also highlight humanity's fascination with bending the rules of reality. While time travel remains a distant dream, advances in physics and quantum mechanics continue to push the boundaries of what we understand about time. Could 2025 bring breakthroughs that challenge our perception of reality? Black holes have fascinated scientists for decades, with NASA's Hubble Space Telescope providing a wealth of data. These cosmic phenomena, capable of swallowing everything in their path, still remain largely misunderstood. Despite technological advancements, our knowledge about their formation, behavior, and impact is far from complete. Could the year 2025 finally bring breakthroughs in our understanding of black holes? While some theorize this might be the year we find answers, others caution that these celestial giants might hold more than just scientific intrigue. Shifting gears to an idea straight out of animation, the concept of a baby translator sounds like something from science fiction or an episode of The Simpsons. In one memorable storyline, Martin Prince creates a device capable of interpreting baby cries and babble, translating them into plain English. The invention, initially met with skepticism, surprises everyone by actually working. While the episode is played for laughs, the idea touches on a genuine need among parents struggling to understand their infants' needs. Imagine wearable devices or AI-powered monitors that could decode a baby's sounds and gestures. Could this animated prediction become a practical reality? Speaking of uncanny predictions, The Simpsons has a long history of eerily mirroring real-world events. Take, for example, their portrayal of corruption in international football, which eerily predated the FIFA bribery scandal. In the show, Homer refuses a bribe while dealing with a fictionalized soccer scandal. Fast forward to reality, and we saw widespread corruption come to light within FIFA, leading to numerous arrests and a global reckoning for the sport. It raises an interesting question. How does a satirical cartoon manage to align so closely with real-life controversies? Cybersecurity is another realm where The Simpsons appeared to look into the future. An episode exploring cyber threats eerily prefigured the rise of ransomware and major cyber attacks. In real life, the 2021 Colonial Pipeline attack highlighted just how vulnerable critical infrastructure can be. This hack disrupted fuel supplies across the US, showing the devastating potential of cybercrime. From schools to hospitals, no sector seems immune, with hackers increasingly targeting sensitive systems. Governments and private entities alike now wrestle with the challenge of securing a digital world that feels increasingly under siege. Let's not forget the Simpsons movie and its dramatic depiction of Springfield trapped under a massive glass dome. What seemed like pure fantasy at the time now sparks debate about the potential need for self-contained environments. Some experts argue that domed cities could become necessary to combat issues like overpopulation and environmental collapse. However, such solutions come with their own set of ethical dilemmas. Could humanity ever truly accept life confined under glass, And what freedoms would we be willing to sacrifice to make it work? Moving into more sobering territory, The Simpsons hasn't shied away from tackling the specter of global conflict. In one episode, Homer's frantic cries of "It's World War III" add comedic flair to a grim possibility. With political instability and ongoing tensions in places like Ukraine, these fictional scenarios start to feel uncomfortably plausible. The show's references to nuclear threats and global warfare mirror anxieties that continue to dominate international headlines. Could we be inching closer to the kind of global crises the show humorously exaggerates? Surveillance is another area where the show's humor hits a little too close to home. In a Halloween special, Springfield becomes a surveillance dystopia, with every move tracked and monitored. Fast forward to today, and technologies like facial recognition and drone monitoring make such scenarios less far-fetched. Countries like China have built extensive surveillance networks, integrating them with social credit systems that monitor citizen behavior. Meanwhile, Edward Snowden's revelations about US government surveillance remind us that these issues are not confined to fiction. As these technologies evolve, concerns about privacy and freedom grow ever more pressing. With every new invention, the line between what's real and what's imagined gets thinner, making us wonder how much is already changing. The growing crisis of climate change. On a brighter note, The Simpsons also highlights humanity's potential for innovation, as seen in Lisa's solar-powered car. While her invention hilariously fails due to a lack of sunlight, it draws attention to the real-world challenges facing solar-powered vehicles. Companies like Lightyear and Sono Motors are making strides in developing solar-powered cars, but hurdles like efficiency and cost remain. These advancements hint at a future where renewable energy could transform transportation, though the path forward is far from straightforward. One of The Simpsons' most famous predictions involves Disney's acquisition of Fox. In an episode aired nearly 2 decades before the actual event, a background detail subtly suggested the merger. When Disney did purchase Fox in 2019 for over $71 billion, fans couldn't help but marvel at the show's foresight. Was it just a clever coincidence? Or does the show's knack for spotting trends give it an edge in predicting the future of entertainment? Another bizarre yet memorable storyline involves a fast food chain that inadvertently turns its customers into zombies. While the episode plays this scenario for laughs, it raises questions about the unforeseen consequences of our food systems. From outbreaks linked to contaminated food to debates about the ethics of genetic modification, the line between fiction and reality isn't always clear. The idea of catastrophic scenarios often feels exaggerated, even laughable. Yet, every once in a while, these exaggerated stories seem to parallel real concerns. One such example is the idea of a zombie apocalypse, a trope that has fascinated popular culture for decades. While it's often dismissed as absurd, it raises an unsettling question. Could humanity ever face something this extreme? Though the concept might sound far-fetched, its themes resonate with fears of pandemics or bioengineered viruses, threats that feel closer to reality than ever. Scientists constantly explore ways to tackle rapidly spreading diseases, striving to stay ahead of nature and human-made threats. Even the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, once tapped into the zombie craze to promote emergency preparedness, proving how embedded this idea is in our collective imagination. While the undead may not rise, the dangers of unchecked outbreaks remind us to ask tough questions. Would we be prepared to survive if society as we know it collapsed? This idea isn't as far-fetched as it once seemed when pandemics have shown how quickly normal life can unravel. A similarly imaginative, yet eerily relevant concept comes from an episode of The Simpsons. In Days of Future Future, the show humorously showcases a malfunctioning self-driving car. While the scene is comedic, with the passenger panicking over the lack of a steering wheel and pleading for a bathroom stop, it's also a subtle critique. What happens when we place so much trust in technology and it fails? Today, self-driving cars are no longer confined to science fiction. Companies like Tesla are actively developing autonomous vehicles, promising to change transportation forever. Yet, as we inch toward a world dominated by driverless cars, the risks highlighted by satirical shows feel more relevant than ever. The question isn't whether the technology will advance, but whether we'll be prepared for its unintended consequences. Moving beyond cars, The Simpsons have also explored more significant global issues, such as environmental crises. In the episode Future Drama, environmental disasters wreak havoc, reflecting challenges humanity faces today. Climate change, pollution, and deforestation are no longer distant warnings. They're harsh realities. Rising temperatures, fueled by greenhouse gases, have led to melting ice caps and rising sea levels. Coastal communities now face increasing threats, and unpredictable weather disrupts agriculture and wildlife. The destruction of essential rainforests, particularly the Amazon, accelerates the crisis by reducing the Earth's capacity to absorb harmful carbon dioxide. Meanwhile, oceans choke on plastic waste, endangering marine life. Activists like Greta Thunberg repeatedly sound the alarm, urging governments to act before it's too late. The clock is ticking, but are we listening? The future of food production is another area where fiction meets reality. In the Simpsons episode Homer Goes to Prep School, food printing is portrayed as an intriguing idea. Fast forward to today, and three-dimensional food printers are no longer just a concept. These machines use ingredients like proteins, carbs, and fats as ink to create meals layer by layer. This innovation promises tailored diets, reduced food waste, and improved sustainability. Imagine being able to print a customized meal at home or during a space mission. As this technology evolves, it challenges traditional food systems and raises the possibility of reshaping global nutrition. The question remains, are we ready for a world where meals come from a printer? As we look at old beliefs and today's problems, the past and present seem to meet in surprising ways. The Euphrates River is drying up fast. Water scarcity is another issue that feels both distant and immediate. The Euphrates River, a lifeline for millions in Syria and surrounding regions, is rapidly drying up. Agricultural runoff and reduced water flow have exacerbated the crisis, with governments warning of dire consequences. Over 9 million Syrians living along the river's banks face significant risks, and local leaders call for global intervention. As water levels drop, experts struggle to pinpoint the exact causes. The situation is so alarming that even Syria's largest lake, Lake Assad, is shrinking. This drying river has broader implications, landing Syria high on the Global Climate Risk Index and sparking debates about its connection to biblical prophecies. For some, the Euphrates crisis is more than a natural disaster. It's a sign of prophecy. The Book of Revelation mentions the river in chilling detail, describing events linked to the end of the world. Revelation speaks of the river drying up to make way for kings from the east, interpreted by some as a precursor to major conflicts. Others view it as symbolic of barriers breaking down, paving the way for chaos. Historically, the Euphrates has been central to biblical narratives, from serving as a boundary for Israel to being a strategic advantage during battles. These layers of meaning make the river's plight even more unsettling. Adding to the tension are reports of strange sounds coming from dried sections of the Euphrates. Some believe these noises hint at biblical bound angels, described in Revelation as being released during the end times. While skeptics dismiss such claims as superstition, the idea resonates with those who see the drying river as a divine warning. For many, this isn't just an environmental issue but a spiritual reckoning, a call to reflect on humanity's actions and prepare for what might come next. The connection between environmental changes and religious interpretations doesn't stop there. The Dead Sea, another iconic body of water, is undergoing its transformation. Known for its extreme salinity that prevents life, the Dead Sea is seeing pockets of freshwater along its banks. In 2016, researchers found fish ponds in areas previously thought barren, echoing biblical prophecies of the sea being healed. For some, these developments are proof of divine intervention, while others see them as natural phenomena. Either way, they challenge perceptions of what's possible and remind us of the delicate balance between nature and faith. Amid these natural and spiritual upheavals, the geopolitical landscape adds another layer of complexity. In biblical narratives, the Euphrates often served as a boundary and a battleground. Today, tensions in the Middle East and beyond mirror these ancient struggles. Pastor Joseph Kabula of Uganda recently spoke about these connections, urging his congregation to stay alert and interpret current events through a biblical lens. He highlighted prophecies like the revival of the Dead Sea and the drying Euphrates, linking them to modern political and environmental crises. For believers, these signs are a wake-up call, a reminder that history and faith are deeply intertwined. The drying Euphrates also raises concerns about global security. Pastor Kabula pointed out that the river's decline could make it easier for armies to cross, echoing prophecies of a massive battle involving millions. He speculated that Israel, facing an unprecedented threat, might resort to nuclear weapons to defend itself. Such scenarios, while speculative, highlight the fragile balance of power in a region already fraught with conflict. The idea of temporary peace, as foretold in the Bible, offers a glimmer of hope, but also underscores the challenges of achieving lasting stability. As humanity grapples with these issues, the role of technology cannot be ignored. Figures like Elon Musk, despite their skepticism about religion, contribute to the dialogue with their visions of the future. Musk's ventures into space exploration, renewable energy, and artificial intelligence reflect a belief in human ingenuity as the solution to global problems. Yet, his work also raises questions about the ethical and environmental implications of such advancements. Can technology save us from ourselves, or will it create new challenges we're unprepared to face? In the end, the stories we tell, whether through satire, scripture, or science, serve as mirrors reflecting our hopes and fears. The zombie apocalypse, autonomous vehicles, environmental crises, and biblical prophecies might seem worlds apart, but they share a common thread. They remind us of the fragility of our existence and the need for vigilance, innovation, and faith. As we navigate an uncertain future, one thing is clear: the choices we make today will shape the world we leave for generations to come. Could these Simpsons predictions be harmless coincidences, or are they eerie warnings about what's to come in 2025? Share your thoughts and remember to like and subscribe for more.